I'm not gonna be cooking, or my wife's not gonna be cooking. I'm not gonna be cooking, or my wife's not gonna be cooking. I'm not gonna be cooking, or my wife's not gonna be cooking. I'm not gonna be cooking, or my wife's not gonna be cooking.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is the one and only Jeff, aka GCurse, here with another GCurse Reacts DSP edition. I hope you're all having a great day. It seems our boy Phil, he is, he's butthurt, but then again, when isn't he butthurt? Today, it seems like he is upset still at the fact that people kind of laughed at him for his attempt to want to review colognes. That's right. Phil is he's still upset. When he holds a grudge about something, boy, does that guy hold a grudge. Yeah, so apparently one of his mindless droobs basically asked him, why don't you why don't you do a test, like a test drive basically, or testing the waters basically of reviewing colognes. And here's what he said. We're gonna see that right about now. Okay, so I got my headphones on. Let's do this. 3, 2, 1.
Zangief says, why don't we do a trial run of the cologne reviews for the 100? Because people are assholes. That's why, Zangief. Because people are complete.
Dude, just because people give you their opinion, and you don't like their opinion, doesn't mean that they're always assholes. Maybe, just maybe, they figure that maybe cologne reviews may not be the best thing for your channel. Bill likes to claim that he's a gaming channel, that he's a variety gamer channel. Where does colognes fit in all this? That's, if I remember correctly, did Phil used to get upset about people who wandered outside of their lanes? Like oh god, who are some of the older people or older content creators that he used to hate on that would get it? Like Mr. Beast. Doesn't he hate Mr. Beast because Mr. Beast wandered into gaming or something? Like, he got out of his lane basically. Didn't Phil get upset with more established YouTubers that were known for one thing and then they got into gaming? And like, I think iJustine was one of them. But didn't he used to do that? But it seems to be okay for Phil. It's okay for Phil, not for everybody else. But let's continue on.
Dickheads on the internet. And they.
Oh, that's right. Back to what I was saying. Sorry, guys. Basically, they may not be assholes. They're just trying to tell you, hey, Phil, maybe a review or cologne or a segment where you review cologne, it may not be the best fit for a channel that's dedicated to gaming. They tolerate, your DSP tries it because you were once known for that, but you would literally be going into a whole different realm. First was like coffee, if I remember correctly. He was contemplating reviewing, oh god, that the quarterings coffee, and then he wanted to do colognes. People want to see gaming primarily because you're a gaming channel.
Think that they could try to treat me with mass disrespect, and then I'm going to give them stuff. Well, I'm not. So I had an idea for the cologne reviews. To be honest, I didn't think the cologne review was going to be a very serious thing. I was going to try to ham it up and make it.
Okay, if he didn't think that it was going to be such a serious thing that he was going to ham it up, why is he getting this anal about it? If he figured that it was not going to be a success and that it wasn't going to be anything that special, wouldn't he just let what the people say kind of roll off his shoulders? Because he already knew that the concept would be basically DOA. No, here's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Phil likes to think that he is an expert in everything he talks about. Why does Phil Burnell do the stupid fucking DSP tries it? Because in his mind, he thinks he's the next Gordon Ramsay. That's why he tries to act all fucking smug when he's talking about various food. Oh, that slice of cheese, that's not cheese. That's cheese product. That's not real cheese. My sandwich is soggy. They ruined my sandwich. Let's see what else is it that he's done. Let's see, when he tries to review video games, he tries to review video games because he thinks he's the next IGN. And why would anybody want to be the next IGN? I don't know, but he thinks that he's a fucking video game reviewer when he gives these off the cuff reviews that he likes to call them. He thinks that he is literally a guru at everything when he talks about stuff. This isn't the only idiot I've seen that does this. Look at fucking other lol cows like that fucking geriatric raping Chris Chan. He thinks because he made a few stupid fucking comic books, it entitles him to tell Sega how they should and should not handle their creations. You want to look at somebody else? Okay, let's look at that closet racist LTG. He thinks because he went to a few tournaments and he plays fighting games on his consoles that it makes him the master of fighting games. It does not. It makes him an idiot. You want another example? Let's look at the wife beating Wings of Redemption. He thinks because he owns a car and that he surfs car websites for 10 hours a day, it makes him an auto aficionado. It doesn't. This is the same thing with Phil. Phil thinks because he eats fast food. Keep in mind the keywords there is fast food. Fast food. He thinks because he eats fast food, he's the next Gordon Ramsay. He thinks because he plays video games really poorly, it entitles him to be the next video game reviewer, like IGN or GameStop or GameSpot or whatever, yeah. And now he's wanting to get into colognes because for some reason in his head he thinks he can be the next reviewer for GQ. It isn't going to work like that, Phil. People can see beyond the grift.
Funny, but I thought it would still be informative for certain people. And I said, let's do it, right? No, everyone wants to make fun of me, say it's the worst idea I've ever had, and clown on me. So now people can fucking kiss my ass. I'm not ever gonna do it.
Like I said, if he actually believed that this was going to go nowhere, that this was just going to be a little bit of a joke project, he would not be getting this upset about it. No, what it was he thought for sure in his head that he was going to go out and tell people, hey guys, I have this great idea. For $2,000 a week, I'll review this bottle of cologne here. And he thought everybody was going to feel like fucking like, oh, wait, hold on. I'll be right back. Hold on. He thought the viewers are actually going to be stupid and go like, okay, Phil, here's $100. Here's $100. Here's another $100. Here's another $100. Here's another $100. Here's another $100. Another, and another. He thought that they were just going to shower him with $100 bills because he's going to be like, yeah, this cologne has a woodsy smell to it, and it smells really nice. And people literally saw beyond that grift. It's really kind of it's kind of sad, to be honest, that instead of actually trying to put out a good a good product, all he can try to do is come up with ideas to make a quick buck, because that's all it is. It's an attempt to earn a quick buck instead of actually doing what he claims to be good at, which is play games and make money off of that. He has to try to find the next project because he knows he cannot stand forever on video games. That's why he does DSP tries it. That's why he thinks he's the next Gordon Ramsay. That's why he was intent on reviewing colognes, because he was hoping that it would just cause his viewers to shower him with a bunch of $100 bills. That's all it is. Phil has no long-term plan. he was figuring I'll review Cologne for a few weeks until the demand starts to wane, and I got the money already, and then I'll be done. Phil has no long-term plans.
It doesn't matter how much they ask for it. It's their own fault. They ruined it. You know, you could have had me doing stupid Cologne reviews that would have been funny and everyone could have had content, but instead they had to be dicks and toxic morons. So now you get nothing. And it's your fault. You have no one to blame but yourselves for being disrespectful shitbags.
I just love that he calls everybody else disrespectful shitbags, but listen to how he speaks to people when he plays people on, like, say, Street Fighter, for example, or when it comes to literally people who just want to give their opinions and say, "Hey, Phil, I don't think that reviewing colognes is the direction your channel should go." And see, that's the problem, ladies and gentlemen. Here, let me use my wad of $100 bills again. Every time Phil treats people poorly, he loses more money each and every single time. Imagine how much money Phil could have been having right about now in his career if he actually treated everybody with respect. But no, Phil feels the need to treat people like shit, and because of that, they take their money elsewhere.
So I'm not going to do the Cologne review. I refuse. Okay. And that's correct. I am much nicer now that I met Kat, because before I met...
Boy, I wish I had the ability to just look at people and literally lie to their faces like that. Wow, I mean, the strength of lying is strong with Phil. The guy literally has no self-respect at this point. He will look at you and lie. "Oh, my wife, being with my wife, I'm a lot nicer than I was," or however the fuck he said it. See, this right here is what Phil really wishes he had.
Kat, I actually would have told you how I really feel.
He already does. There's nothing different here, ladies and gentlemen. There isn't.
Right now, I'm definitely padding it. Trust me. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Anyway, so let's see. Let's get some ideas. And by the way, not insulting to you, Zangief. I mean, it's a good suggestion, but I'm just not going to give these idiots what they want when they treat me like dirt.
And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Phil, basically, he is having, he's still having his little temper tantrum meltdown, because people gave him their honest opinion that doing colognes may not have been the best thing. So just to reiterate, every time Phil treats his viewers like shit, he is losing the thing that he really wants. And it's all because his attitude. It's not me. It's not you. And it's not the detractors.